Next characteristic on which will differentiate the living and the non-living thing organisms is growth. Living things grow, whereas non-living things do not grow as that or as like of living things. You know what, bache, whensoever you must have seen or observed a newborn child, it's a very small child, but it grows in size slowly and steadily. We also when take birth in our past years, in our birth year, then we were very small in size, and then we grows into a complete larger, or you can say mature organism. So that is what the growth is. Living things grows, whereas non-living things don't grow as like of living things, as that of living things. What is growth? Growth is actually increase in the size of an organism, increase in the volume of organism, that is known as growth. You must have seen a tiny seed of black gram, or the rajma. Those seeds, when got into the soil, into the moist soil, then those seeds will start to germinate. You must have seen the germinated seeds known as sprouts. The white color thread-like structure grows out of those seeds. That is known as radicle, which give rise to future root. That is radicle, which will give the future root. After that, when seed gets germinated properly, it will grow into a baby plant. It is also referred as a plantlet. It is also referred as a sapling, a baby plant, which we purchase from the nurseries as well. Then that plantlet will grows into a complete plant, will grows into a new young plant, mature plant, or a big tree. How? After taking nutrients from the soil. So that is the growth. It occurs externally as well as internally. This growth occurs due to multiplication of cells. Cells multiply, the cells number increases, and by that increase in cell number, the plant or an animal grows into a complete young adult. For example, you must have seen a puppy. A puppy grows into a complete large dog. That is what the growth is. That occurs due to multiplication of cells, formation of new cells, formation of new tissues. Third example is an egg. When hatches, when breaks, gives a chick, and then that chick grows into a hen or a chicken, mature one, which will further reproduce, which will further give rise to young ones. So this is what the growth is. Animals grow up to a certain age, certain limit, that is known as maturity, whereas plants shows unlimited growth. But they grow better. Both of them grow. Animal shows limited growth, that is till maturity, whereas plants grows unlimited. They shows unlimited growth. Non-living things also grows. For example, sugar crystals may be increased in size, may be larger in size. You must have seen the large sugar cubes as well as the small crystals. But the growth of the sugar crystals, or you can say non-living things, is externally. That is occur outside the body only. Whereas in case of living things, the growth is internally as well as externally. They grows from the internal parts as well as from the external parts. So this is the difference. Living things grow from internal regions as well as external regions, whereas non-living things grows but only from their external regions. So living things grow internally as well as externally, whereas non-living things grow only from their external surface, that is from their outer body surface. Next characteristic is lifespan. Living things has a fixed or definite or a certain lifespan. First we'll discuss what is a lifespan. The time period for which a living organism lives is known as lifespan. The time period, the time span for which a living organism remains alive is known as lifespan. वो समय बच्चे जिसके लिए जिस समय तक एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म जीता है, that is known as a lifespan. After completion of the lifespan, living organism become dead. So dead things are a part of living, or are once a part of living things. For example, furniture. The wooden furniture is made up of wood, like table, chair, and that wood was once a part of a living tree. So those are known as dead things. The bones, the tusks, these are also once the part of the living things. The leather which we take from the skin of the cattle, like cows and buffalo, that is also once a part of living things. So these are referred as dead things. But non-living things do not have a lifespan. They do not have a fixed lifespan. Living things, like the living organism, for example bacteria, it usually lives for 15 to 20 minutes. Housefly lives for 1 to 4 days. Rats used to live for 2 to 3 years. Dogs used to live for, average lifespan of dogs is averagely they live for 16 to 18 years. Human beings have an average lifespan of 65 to 80 years. The Indians have average lifespan of 63 years. Obviously, not all the Indians live for 63 years, but it's an average. That average, a healthy human Indian lives for 63 years. But all over the world, or for the all world human beings, it is from 65 to 80 years. Next, tortoise. They have a large lifespan as compared to humans. They usually live for 150 to 200 years, or up to 120 years also, some species of tortoise. Banyan tree, bargad ka ped bache. It usually lives for 200 years or more. Some banyan tree in India are present from past 700 years bache. So that is the average lifespan which only applicable to the living things. Whereas non-living things do not have a fixed or definite lifespan. Next characteristic on which the living and non-living things are differentiated is reproduction. Living things reproduce, whereas non-living things do not reproduce. First we'll discuss what is reproduction. Re means again, and production means to produce new. The process of giving birth to young ones which give rise to the production of the new organisms from the pre-existing ones. जो पहले से पाए जाते हैं बच्चों, उन्हीं से नए organisms का बनना, that is known as reproduction. The process of giving birth to young ones or new individuals by an organism of its own kind, that is known as reproduction. जब एक ऑर्गेनिज्म अपनी तरह के ही नए ऑर्गेनिजम्स को पैदा करता है, उन्हें बर्थ देता है, that is known as reproduction. Various organisms reproduce by their various means. जो डिफरेंट टाइप के ऑर्गेनिज्म है बच्चे, वो डिफरेंट तरीके से रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं, डिफरेंट तरीके से नए ऑर्गेनिजम्स को बनाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, the organisms like humans, cats, dogs, lion, tiger, they give rise to young ones. They give rise to babies. Those kind of organisms are known as viviparous animals. The animals which give rise to young ones, which gives birth to young ones, those are known as viviparous. And human beings, cats, dog, lion, tiger, leopards, these are elephants, these are viviparous. They give rise to young ones. Whereas the aquatic organisms like fishes, the birds, the aerial organism which used to live in air or go in the air for their search of food, birds, snakes, these are known as reptiles, and they creep on the ground. They are known as reptiles. They give or they produce eggs first, and then these eggs hatch, and from those eggs hatching, young ones are produced. So the organisms which are produced from eggs are known as oviparous animals, in which young ones are produced are known as viviparous, and which gives the birth by help of eggs, those are known as oviparous. In plants, there are various methods of reproduction. In plants, usually the new plant is grown up by a seed. For example, in a mango tree, in a banyan tree, apple, cotton, wheat, rice, all these required seeds to grow. In some plants, only the root will give rise to a young plant. सिर्फ रूट अगर हम काट लें उस प्लांट की, उससे ही एक नया प्लांट ग्रो हो जाएगा. एग्जाम्पल मिंट, पुदीना. उसमें बच्चे अगर उसकी रूट है हमारे पास, उसकी रूट को काट कर और गाड़ दो कहीं और, वहीं पर एक नया प्लांट, नया मिंट का प्लांट ग्रो हो जाएगा. Some plants reproduce by their stems only. For example, sugarcane, rose. If you cut a sugarcane's part which has a bud over it, and that part will give rise to a young sugarcane plant. The small stem cutting of rose will give rise to a new rose plant. So by stem cutting we can grow a new plant. Whereas in some plants like bryophyllum and begonia, leaves will plays the part of reproduction. From their leaves, the new plant is grown on its own. So that's how plants reproduce, will give rise to young plants. Next we'll discuss what is the necessity of reproduction. Why we require reproduction? Reproduction maintains the number of individuals of a species. If a species stops to reproduce, then after a limited lifespan, all organisms of that species die. For example, अगर human beings reproduction बंद कर दें, तो सभी human beings जो अभी धरती पर present हैं, वो एक limited lifespan के बाद मर जाएंगे. अब जब सारे ही मर जाएंगे, तो there will be no human beings on earth. That will create an imbalance. So, for the maintenance of a species, for the survival of a species, and for the continuity of life on earth, reproduction is necessary. Why, bache? Because after a certain fixed lifespan, after a certain definite lifespan, all the organisms will be perish, will become dead. So if there is no reproduction, that means there is no new organisms, that means the life from earth will be removed. The last characteristic on which we differentiate between the living and non-living thing is response to a stimuli. First we'll discuss what is a stimuli or stimulus. Stimulus is singular बच्चों, and multiple stimulus are referred as stimuli. जो stimulus का plural है वो stimuli. What is the stimulus or stimuli? Any environmental change that brings about a response by a living organism is known as stimulus. कोई भी ऐसा चेंज बच्चों जो एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स की सराउंडिंग्स में है, जो एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स के चारों तरफ है, जिस चेंज के अगेंस्ट एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म रिस्पॉन्ड करता है, कोई ना कोई रिस्पॉन्स शो करता है, that change in the surroundings of living organism to which an organism responds is known as stimulus. So, what is a stimulus? Any change in the surroundings, or you can write here environment, to which a living organism responds or gives a response is known as a stimulus, or are known as a stimuli. Plural is stimuli. Example, temperature, touch, light, sound. These all are considered as stimuli. For example, if a bright light is poured into or is lit into our eyes, then we actually immediately close our eyes like this. This is what the response of our body, our eyes, to that bright light. So, these are the stimuli to which our body responds. this ability of our body or of the body of living organisms to respond to a stimuli, that ability, that capacity of living organism is known as sensitivity. So living organisms possess sensitivity. They gives the response, they have the ability to respond to any external stimuli, to any environmental change occurring around them, occurring in their surroundings, whereas non-living things do not possess sensitivity. They do not give the response to a stimulus. Now we'll discuss certain examples of various stimulus which you can easily observe in your life and their responses. For example, let's say the first one. We accidentally touch our hand on a hot plate. We accidentally place our hand over a hot plate. Then we don't think for even a second. बच्चे हम सोचते नहीं हैं कि हाथ हटाएं ना हटाएं. We immediately pull it back. So touching the hot plate is a stimulus, is an environmental change, and pulling back of our hand, पीछे खींचना क्या है? Response. Next, if someone prick our hand by small pin, अगर बच्चे एक small pin लेकर कोई हमें prick कर रहा है, कोई हमें वो small pin चुभा रहा है, then we immediately pull back our hand. We move away our hand from that point, pin, from that sharp edge point. हम तुरंत अपना हाथ उस पिन से दूर कर लेंगे. That is our response. If accidentally we, or if not accidentally, we intentionally, we hit a dog with a stone, then hitting the dog with the stone is stimulus. Then dog feels the pain and it will bite us. और वो पेन फील करेगा और हमें क्या कर लेगा? काट लेगा. So biting of dog is response. So never hit a dog with a stone. Next, touching the leaves of Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica is touch me not plant, as its name indicates. Don't touch it. If we touch it, then it will droop its leaves. It will close its leaves. अगर हम एक्सीडेंटली मिमोसा प्यूडिका के लीव्स को टच करते हैं तो टच एक स्टिमुलस हो गया और वो रिस्पॉन्स क्या करता है? अपने लीव्स को ड्रूप कर लेता है. इट विल फोल्ड और क्लोज्ड इट्स लीव्स. तो इसका रिस्पॉन्स क्या है? फोल्डिंग ऑफ लीव्स. नेक्स्ट, shoots, stem always grow in the upward direction and gravity is in the downward direction. Earth attracts everything towards downward direction. So stem always grow away from the gravity. Gravity नीचे को है और stem किधर ग्रो होती है बच्चे? ग्रेविटी के अगेंस्ट. तो ग्रेविटी एक स्टिमुलस है और शूट की ग्रोथ अगेंस्ट इट एक रिस्पॉन्स है. नेक्स्ट, रूट्स. Roots always goes in downward direction. You must have seen in the plants. A root always goes in the downward direction. So roots shows response towards gravity. So gravity for roots is stimulus. Gravity is the stimulus, and the growth of the roots towards the gravity, is known as their response. So these are the certain examples of stimuli and responses in our general lifespan, which you can easily observe. So living things responds to a stimuli, whereas non-living things do not possess sensitivity. That is, they do not give any response to environmental change occurring in the surroundings. Now we will discuss the entities between the living and the non-living. Viruses are neither considered as living nor considered as non-living. Viruses ना तो हम living में consider करते हैं बच्चे, ना non-living. Why? Because viruses shows the characters of both living as well as non-living things. Viruses living thing के characteristic भी show करते हैं बच्चे और non-living के. So there are certain characters written on the board which shows that is they are of living side and either they are of non-living side. The first one, viruses also have a DNA. DNA stands for deoxyribo, D, and for nucleic, and A for acid. Viruses have DNA and the living things possess DNA. The living cells has DNA. So it is a living characteristic. बच्चे living things के पास DNA होता है और viruses के पास भी DNA. इसका मतलब शायद viruses क्या हो? Living. Next, living things will grow. They can grow and they multiply, they reproduce only inside the body of a living organism. And the growth and the reproduction, growth and multiplication is a characteristic of living things. So they shows these characteristics which are of living things, which made them to include in living organisms. Whereas viruses do not have a cellular structure. उनके पास एक complete cell नहीं होती. Whereas हमने पढ़ा बच्चे, we had studied in first characteristic that living things are made up of cells. So it do not composed of cell. That means it must be considered as a non-living. Next. Viruses can be solidified. They can be crystallized. Viruses को हम crystals की form में convert कर सकते हैं. Whereas living things cannot be crystallized बेटा. तो ये non-living thing का characteristic है. Viruses can be solidified. They can be crystallized. Next thing. Viruses are dead outside the body of a living organism. अगर वो living organism की body में नहीं है बच्चे, अगर वो बाहर है तो they are dead. They only become living, they only comes to life when they enters into a body of living organism. So these are the characteristics of non-living things and these are the characteristics of living things. As viruses shows the characteristics of both living and non-living. दोनों के characteristic दिखा रहे हैं बच्चे, living के भी और non-living के भी. That is why viruses are known as connecting link between living and non-living things. Viruses shows the characteristics of both living and non-living. That is why, that is the reason they are referred as, they are known as a connecting link. The link which connect. किनको कनेक्ट कर रहा है ये लिंक? लिविंग और नॉन लिविंग. क्यों कर रहा है? क्योंकि दोनों के कैरेक्टर शो कर रहा है. So that is why we said that viruses are considered as the connecting link between living and non-living things. And by this way, we complete our chapter 7, that is the living and the non-living.
Look at your pictures when you were an infant. You were so small. Now look at yourself. You are grown up and increased in size. All living things grow on their own. Growth is actually an increase in size of the body. A tiny seed grows into a baby plant, and after some time it grows into a big plant or tree. Plants continue to grow throughout their life. A small puppy grows into a dog. A chick comes out of an egg and grows into a hen. Animals grow up to a certain age only. They stop growing after they have attained a certain size and shape. You will also grow for a few more years, and then you would stop growing. You may say that some non-living things, like a crystal of sugar, grows in size. This growth is external, that is, due to addition of substances from outside. You grow because of multiplication and growth of cells inside your body. So, the growth in living organisms is internal, that is, from inside. Living things have a definite lifespan. We know that all living beings start from a single cell. All living organisms are born, grow into adults, produce offspring, get old and finally die. So, all living organisms follow a definite pattern of birth, growth, reproduction, aging and death. The time period for which a living organism remains alive is called its lifespan. All living things have a definite lifespan. Lifespan is different for different organisms. Organisms, lifespan, organisms, lifespan. Bacteria, 15 to 20 minutes. Dog, 16 to 18 years. Mayfly, 1 day. Lion, 20 to 25 years. Housefly, 1 to 4 months. Ostrich, 45 to 50 years. Rice plant, 4 months. Human, 65 to 80 years. Rat, mouse, 2 to 3 years. Tortoise, 120 to 150 years. Squirrel, 8 to 9 years. Banyan tree, 200 years or more. After completion of life cycles, living things die. Biologically, things are classified as living, non-living, and dead. Dead things are the remains of living things. For example, furniture like table and chair are made up of wood. Wood was once the part of a tree and thus is a dead part of the plant. Other examples of dead things are leather, bone, tusk, etc. Living things reproduce. All living things give birth to young ones of their own kind. That is, all living things reproduce. Animals like cows and cats give birth to young ones. Cows reproduce by giving birth to calves, whereas cats give birth to kittens. Human beings reproduce by giving birth to babies. Some baby animals like birds, frogs, snakes and mosquitoes hatch from eggs. Plants usually reproduce through their seeds or from other parts of the plant like stem and leaves. Living things respond to stimuli. What happens when anyone pricks your hand with a small pin? You feel pain and move your hand away quickly. Here, pricking with the pin is the stimulus and the quick withdrawal of your hand is the response. When we touch the leaves of Mimosa pudica plant, it quickly folds its leaves. Here, touching is the stimulus and folding of leaves is the response. Stimulus is any change in the surroundings of an organism to which it responds. All living things respond to stimuli like temperature, touch, light, sound, and smell by moving towards it or away from it. No more. Reproduction leads to an increase in the number of individuals of a species. In the absence of reproduction, the organisms would perish after completing their lifespan. So, reproduction ensures the survival of a species. So, all living things can feel and are able to perceive the changes occurring around them. This ability to respond to any external change is called sensitivity. Entities between living and non-living. Viruses are microorganisms which have the characteristics of both living and non-living things. They are just like any other non-living thing outside the body of a living thing. They can grow and multiply only inside the living things. Viruses are often considered the connecting link between the living things and the non-living things. Parameter: living things, non-living things. Cells: living things are made up of cells. Non-living things are not made up of cells. Movement: living things can move on their own. Non-living things cannot move on their own. We have to move them. Food: living things need food. Non-living things do not need food. Respiration: living things respire. Non-living things do not respire. Excretion: living things excrete to get rid of waste products formed in the body. Non-living things do not excrete. Growth: living things grow. Non-living things do not grow. Lifespan: living things have a definite lifespan. Non-living do not have a definite lifespan. Reproduction: living things reproduce themselves. Non-living things do not reproduce. Response to stimuli: living things respond to stimuli. They feel and react. Non-living things do not respond to stimuli.